Hi guys, last class we learned about grouping method. When four terms are there and then where we don't have any GCF, then we went ahead and just used the grouping to factor out of common factors, correct? So let's take a look at number 9. It's a little bit different. Because if you look at 20x to the third power plus 8x squared plus 140x plus 56, actually there is a common factor. What is the greatest common factor among those four terms? Okay, greatest common factor is 4. So what you can do is in this case, we can actually factor out of the greatest common factor, which is 4. That's a GCF. So I'm going to factor that out. Okay, so then it's going to be 5x to the third plus 2x to the second plus 140 divided by 4 is 35 plus 56 divided by 4 is 14. Do we see any more common factors among these four numbers? 5, 2, 35, 14. Once you can't find any common factors, what you're doing is now we're going to do grouping. So let's take a look at grouping. And you remember when we use grouping, we always want to include the sign in front of every single one. So between 5x cubed and 2x squared, what is the common factor? We don't have any common factor number, but common factor variable is x squared. Because we always take the lower one, remember? So 5x cubed divided by 5x squared is 5x. Okay, 2x squared divided by x squared is 2. Okay, how about between 35 and 14? What is the greatest common factor? Between those two numbers, it's going to be positive 7. So if you factor out a 7, it's going to be 5x plus 2. You see that? Now we have matching binomials. So what we're going to do is I'm going to write 5x plus 2 one time. Okay, and what is the binomial factor? X squared plus 7. Okay, now am I done? No, because I need to bring down this greatest common factor, which is 4. Okay, so in this case, we have 3 different factors. 4, 5x plus 2, x squared plus 7. Okay? Okay, now let's take a look at the next question. So among 56x to the third minus 32x squared minus 56x plus 32. First thing that we need to look at is to see if they have any GCF. So as you see on the flow chart that I gave you, the green sheet, you always need to check for GCF. Okay, so for this question, do we have any GCF? What was the GCF? 56 and 32 is such a big number, but we do have a common factor, which is 8. Okay, so if we got that, I have a common factor. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to divide 56, 8 divided by 8 is 7x cubed minus 4x squared minus 7x plus 4. Okay, now once you factor out, we need to do grouping. Remember, when we do grouping, we always put first 2 and last 2. And make sure you include the sign with the number. So between 7x cubed minus 4x squared, between 7 and 4, do we have any common factor? No. What is the greatest common factor variable? X cubed and x squared. It's going to be x squared. Okay. 7x cubed divided by x squared is 7x. 4x squared divided by x squared is minus 4. You guys also remember that if your leading coefficient is negative, you factor out of negative and then negative 1. Okay, so if you factor out of negative 1, negative 7x divided by negative 1 is 7x. 4 divided by negative 1 is negative 4. Now, do you see? They're matching binomials. What if you don't get the matching binomial? Then you have to go back to the factor and see if you did the operations correctly, okay? So 7x minus 4, 7x minus 4, that's a common factor, so I pull that out. Okay, now what do we have? X squared minus 1, so I'm going to bring that down. Am I done? No, you should not forget about this greatest common factor. You need to bring that down, and you bring down 8. Do you guys understand? All right, now I want everyone to take a look at 11. 35x cubed plus 70x squared plus 15x plus 30. Remember, always check for GCF first. No matter what kind of problems you're given, when they ask you to factor, first thing that you need to check is the greatest common factor. So 35, 70, 15, and 30. This is the easy one because they either end with 0 or 5. So what can be the common factor? 5. Okay, so I'm going to factor out of 5. Okay, I'm going to always circle that. I like to circle it so I don't forget about that. So if you factor out of 5, 35 divided by 5 is 7x cubed. 70 divided by 5 is 14x squared plus 3x plus 6. Okay, now can you pause the video and finish this question, see what you get, and see if your answer is matching with mine. Okay, so pause the video now. Okay, do you guys have the same answer? X plus 2, 7x squared plus 3, and then make sure you bring down this 5. All right, now I want you guys to pause the video and try number 12 by yourself. First thing that you need to check is check for GCF. Okay, once you're done, then do the grouping. Now pause the video. Okay, so your answer should be 5, 3n minus 2, n squared plus 5. So I factor out of greatest common factor of 5. Then I did the grouping of these two. Once I finished that, 3n minus 2, 3n minus 2, matching binomial. I bring that down and bring down the leftover, n squared plus 5, and then bring down the greatest common monomial factor. Okay, so we did more of these in class, so I will hope to see you. Bye.